Today I'm heading north about 100 kilometres, just up past Bendigo. What I'm going to see today is a remnant ironbark forest. The ironbark was a really important timber in the early days because it's so hard and so strong. Really hard to cut. Axes used to bounce off the trees, and that's how it got its name, Ironbark, I guess. When the gold rush came, of course, and they needed strong timbers for shoring up the mines, the ironbarks were devastated, and there's just a few remnants around. It's a pretty amazing forest because most of the year there's just absolutely nothing in the understorey, very little anyway. But just for a couple of months in the spring, it will just blossom and it will be wall-to-wall wildflowers and absolute massive colour. I love the place. I just had to stop. There was a group of crows chasing a wedge-tailed eagle. I guess the wedge-tailed eagle was looking for some young crows for lunch. But it's nesting season. Most of the small birds around here will protect their nests, and they're a lot more agile than the big eagle, so they can give him a pretty hard time and chase him away. Anyway, back on the road. Wattle in flower makes me think of Eric Bogle's song Shelter, of Australia dressed in green and gold. Makes me feel like singing. In fact, I think I will. I'm drowning in the sunshine as it pours down from the sky. There's something stirring in my heart. Strong colours fill my eyes as from here to the far horizon your beauty does unfold, and oh, you look so lovely, dressed in green and gold. I can almost touch the ocean shimmering in the distant haze, as I stand here on this mountain, on this glorious day of days. Round half the world I've drifted, I've left no wild oats unsown, but now my view has shifted, and I feel like I've just come home. May the homeless and the hungry ever find an open door. May the restless and the weary find safe shelter from your shore. May you always be our dreamtime place, our spirit's glad release. May you always be our shelter. May we always live in peace. So I'm drowning in the sunshine as it falls down from the sky. There's something stirring in my heart. Strong colours fill my eyes as from here to the far horizon your beauty does unfold, and oh, you look so lovely, dressed in green and gold. And oh, you look so lovely, dressed in green and gold. one that breaks up a long road trip like a good song. I remember in the early days of the band when we all had to travel in one car, we used to practice our harmonies while we were driving, and the trip would go in no time at all. The first thing I noticed when I arrived was grass. 10 years ago, when I last visited, there was virtually no grass within the forest. The poor soil would not support it. This meant that there'd been a dramatic change in the soil, which could severely impact the native vegetation that's adapted to low nutrient levels. It didn't take long to find the reason. Mound after mound of stable manure had been dumped here, changing the ecosystem possibly forever, and along with the grasses, introducing many other weeds, such as capeweed. The second thing I noticed was the rubbish. It would appear that people have been using this area as an alternative to the tip. My euphoric mood was being quickly eroded. Despite this, I was glad to be back, listening to the birds that call this place home, and seeing the few early spring arrivals. The gold dust wattle's a small, straggly-looking plant that's courageously held on in the goldrush areas, adapting to survive on very low nutrients. Actually, more likely, it was already here, but got its chance when miners stripped away the topsoil to get at the gold. The land's still recovering, and plants like this are helping with the healing. Large areas of the ground here belong to the ants, and there are many ant mounds, some a couple of metres wide. These too are part of the healing of the land. Ants in Australia perform the same function as earthworms in Europe, turning over the soil. Many parts of Australia have very few earthworms, but we have hundreds of species of ants. My mood quickly lifted again on finding my first Diuris, commonly known as Donkey Orchids, due to their big ears. These unlikely looking flowers are among my favourites. The last 10 years have not been kind to this place, and quite frankly I can't see anything happening to change things. I guess a lot of people would see the grass as an improvement over the previous barren soilscape. We'll have to see what it looks like when I come back in a few weeks' time.